Check. Check.
So after our few days in Inverness, we were back on the road west to the Isle of Skye. We took our time getting there, stopping more than a few times for the incredible views of the lochs. We also found Eileen Donnan Castle, famous from the biscuit tin. And we snuck over at low tide for free.
Pouncing made a race through the dapple shadows. Light was pouring down upon the stepping stone. Felt like morning coming. I don't know. Like a tiger's striped
Which side's got
sky.
better view?
Half the world was pulling on its colors. As nights are in the day to the hours. Glow is coming down, coming down. I don't know why, but it felt like a tiger's striped sky.
Crossing the bridge to Skye, we realised we were losing daylight and headed straight to our hostel to check in. Broadford Hostel was in the back half of a building shared with a funeral home and had an aggressive but friendly guard chicken.
I'm underneath the tiger's striped sky.
Oh, he's firing up.
Funeral director's next door, and
Think I'll
I'm
take
still
a
full of
turn
miserable
from
people in.
Oh, fuck, thanks.
No.
Think I'll write a tale of my own.
Rob and I built a big campfire that night, and we all cooked tea and met some of the coolest other travellers. A Canadian girl and an American guy called Des taught us to make s'mores, while our French friend played his medieval fiddle for us.
What do I do? Just put it. Look how burnt mine is.
that just makes them all raw squishy.
Well then, what? That was something.
A little sandwich.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, s'more.
Rob, Ree, Harry and I spent most of our first day on the Isle of Skye exploring the fairy pools. I remember it was a good few hours of hiking beside streams and waterfalls and stopping to admire the pools.
I'm giving up my stride, painting with new colors, beginning with dark white.
We started the next day with a hike to Old Man's Store to watch the sunrise, with our new friend Des leading the way. Of course, the blonde German girl that Harry liked came too, which obviously meant that I had to spend the hour car ride there and back in the boot of our car, Cunto. The sunrise that morning will always be one of my happy places. Even though we weren't lucky enough to see the Aurora Borealis, we learned of a sea cave, and at low tide we parked near a farm and scrambled down this cliff.
Alright, let's check this cave out. This is the start of every horror movie. Wow, there's actually a wall built here.
We found the cave and an old exterior wall.
Is that moss or is that rocks? This is creepy as fuck. You got those torches?
You got your torch?
I got my phone.
Did you bring your torch?
Out of the two ways, the first we chose was nothing but deep mud, but the other went quite deep before we thought it was too dangerous to keep going.
You guys want to go first? I went first the whole way up. Oh, I'm glad I'm so light. Oh, fuck!
Go with it.
Yeah, fuck. You know what? I've lost. Oh. Jazz, come on, you're fucking leading here. Fuck. I've lost my shoes.
You actually lost the shoe?
No, it's just like he just can't. Oh no, that's so deep. Oh, there's a rock here where my foot is. It's gonna be so cold going back.
We made burritos to share for our last night there. And played resistance with Des and the French guy until late.
He's not even
Crossing back to the mainland with our new friend Desmond along for the ride, we headed south to Glasgow. We stopped for lunch at a pub in Fort William for a good feed, a pint and a game of pool. We sadly parted ways with Desmond when we got to Glasgow and we found our hostel to check in. That night in Glasgow is nothing but a blur from our drunken pub crawl. The next day, we dragged ourselves back together and crawled back home to Edinburgh. This was the start of my chapter in Scotland, and definitely one of the best.